Because guess what? I create my own reality. I create my own home space. That means I want people to rise up and to be more joyful. So I have to be more joyful. I have to be more happy. I have to be more fun. I have to be more confident. I have to be more enthusiastic. So that when they bring their low quality energy into my space, they are either running away or they're rising up to the occasion. What is up, my dear friends, and welcome back to another episode here on the Honey, I'm Home podcast, a podcast that's going to help you to win yourself and lead your home. Today, we are going to be talking about the power of role models and how this year in 2024 is going to be asking you to step into the role model mentality. But before we dive into that, once again, if you have not had an opportunity to check out the free training in the show notes below, this training is designed to significantly help you to get unstuck, to help you to move your life and relationships forward. It's designed to teach you the three obstacles that you run into that are currently keeping you stuck in your own misery. And then it gives you the 3 steps that you can begin to take that's going to help you to move your life forward. If you didn't get access to that, be sure to check it out. It's only 30 minutes, but it's 30 minutes of your time that you should be willing to invest into yourself so that you can gain the knowledge, skill set, and ability to move your life forward. Now, on to today's episode on the power of role models and how you can begin to adopt the role model mentality. My dear friends, today we have a powerful topic that has been hitting home for me. And I hope that it hits home for you too. And it's all about the power of role models. You know, I feel like there's a problem in this world that we're all facing. And the problem is that you are not your own role model. Think about that. Do you look at yourself as your own role model? Are you chasing your last name? Are you getting your kids to be proud of their last name that they're carrying? Or is your wife proud of the last name that she's carrying? She loves it, honors it, respects it. You know, sometimes I find that it's challenging for those that hold our last name to respect it when we don't even respect it ourselves. We would rather wear our favorite team jersey on a Sunday than to wear our own last name because we don't want to be looked at as, full of themselves. I find this disheartening because you were born to lead. You were born to encourage. You were born to inspire other people to take control of their own life. But it's hard for you to lead your family when they do not respect you, love you, or honor you because you're not showing up for yourself either. So we're going to work through this together so that we can become more of who we know we can be and should be, not only for ourselves, but ultimately for our families. You know, I'm a responsible husband. I have a woman that has taken my last name, and I don't take that lightly. You know, she gave up her last name to legally change her last name to mine, and I find that so fascinating. I find that so encouraging. I find that so powerful. What a beautiful concept of a woman giving up their identity almost to become a Stratton or to become a Candelore or to become a Logan. I forget his last name, but we call him Swing. What's Douglas? There we go. My bad, bro. But for real though, or a Hess. It's like you got to think about these topics. You got to think about these ideas that we allow ourselves to think that other people have a more strong last name than ourselves, right? And so today I want to work through 4 different ideas that can help you to become the individual that you need to be so that you can create a sense of happiness in your home, a sense of respect, and a sense of honor so that you're excited to wear your own last name, so that you're ready to step up and lead yourself, your family, your future forward. Because if you cannot respect you, who's going to respect you? That's the question that I ask myself. So if you're struggling to become a role model in your family, it's probably because you haven't adopted the role model mindset. Now, let's talk about this idea of a role model real quick. A role model to me is someone who influences our behaviors, what we believe, think, do, how we behave or act. And therefore, it's like we always have role models. Sometimes we're unaware of those role models, whether it's maybe an artist who sings, they're a role model because we continuously listen to them on repeat, so they become this unconscious role model. Maybe it's a podcaster or a YouTube, maybe it's your father, mother, maybe it's your grandparents. You have role models. Maybe it's, someone that you never met yet and you don't know who they are but behind the camera, but they're your role model and they think for you. They're always a part of your life. They're everywhere you go. And I'm asking you, are you aware of that? Because there was a time that I wasn't. My role models, I didn't even know what a role model was and how impactful, now they're called influencers, right? They influence your decisions. They influence your life. They influence your homes. And so when you allow yourself to indulge into social media and see all these influencers and what they're wearing, doing, and how they're behaving, you're going to want to adopt that regardless, because here's the crazy part is where you're at when you're watching that is at your most vulnerable point. Most of the time when you're on social media, you're in your home. Most of the time when you're watching TV, you're in your home. It's a safe space for you to unwind, to release, to let go of putting your guard up, right? Having your protection up. And what happens is you allow yourself to have this garbage dumped into your mind and into your heart and into your subconscious, where it basically directs your decision making or your ability to act or not act. And so you're in a dangerous spot if you're not protecting your eye gate, ear gate, and mind gate. If you're not protecting your mind and your ears and your eyes, then you're already losing because someone else is in control of you. You're not in control of you. And here's the thing. If someone else is in control of you, then you can never be a role model. And so if you want to gain the respect from other individuals, the respect from your peers, the respect for my wife, if I want to gain the respect of my wife, I got to show up and respect myself. I tell her who the Strattons are. Are you telling your family who they are supposed to be? I'm like, hey, we're not lazy. We get things done with excellence. We strive for greatness. We strive to be better. We strive to be more kind. We strive to be more happy. We strive to be more welcoming. We strive to love more. We strive to forgive more. I'm telling my wife this daily of how much she's loved, valued, appreciated. We stand for this because I'm a role model in my home, whether I want to take on that responsibility or not, but I'm going to, and I'm cool with that. I own the responsibility, and this is the first thing that I had to do in order for me to become a role model, not only for myself and for my family, but for all of you that have been tuning in to this podcast for years now. And I'm just grateful that you're here, by the way. Thank you for allowing me to speak into your heart, into your head, and into your home. I don't take that lightly, and it's just a beautiful blessing that God has given me this gift to be able to speak to you, and I hope that this message today speaks to you and asks you to grow. I'm challenging you. We're about to step into 2024. And there's a lot of change coming. We don't know what the world's going to look like, but here's what we do know is we must take control of the future by creating it today. And so I want to ask you about adopting the role model mentality. Maybe even I challenge you to stop wearing somebody else's last name. Maybe you start buying some custom gear and being proud of who you were and who you were called to be. God gave you a last name for a reason, and you can be a role model for a lot of other people. Wouldn't it be cool to think about someone else wearing your last name? Like I remember playing football. My whole family and my friends would be painted up with 22 on their chest, in the student section. I would have, cheerleaders wearing my jerseys. I would have my parents, locked in wearing the gear, supporting my last name, supporting my number, supporting me. And what a beautiful community that built in regards to our last name. People just enjoyed being around us because we built this community of welcomeness. We always welcome people, right? And that's who we are. We're welcomers. We make people feel comfortable. And it was so cool when I saw other people support my number or my last name. You know what I'm talking about if you were in sports. It's such a good feeling. But you lost that feeling after you stepped out of the game. Life is a game. Step into the role model mentality. And the role model mindset that you need to adopt says, I know people are watching me, so I need to understand how to deal with this. So I'm not just going to guess on the way that I'm going to show up, not in life, not in situations, and not in my relationship. We're no longer guessing in 2024, my friends. You have declared who you are. You're no longer going to be so reactive. You're going to remind yourself daily of who you are. I just showed my friend Vinny. He's on episode 3 of the Honey I'm Home podcast. I was just talking to him. I had a moment where a notification came up on my phone. I've talked to you guys about this constantly, but I'm practicing what I preach. I make sure that I have 3 reminders that go off in my phone every single day that remind me of who I want to be and who I claim myself to be and how I visualize myself. Joyful, confident, and enthusiastic. Enthusiastic for life, for relationships, for communication, for connection. Confident in myself because I too lacked confidence. And also joyful. I just want to bring the joy. I want to be happy. I'm tired of choosing misery. I would rather see the best rather than the worst. So it's a constant reminder that, yeah, life gets hard. I've had some unfortunate news come up even today. But that doesn't mean it's going to stop me from being who I claim to be, even in the difficult times. That's the role model mindset. It's knowing that you have influence inside your home, inside your community, inside your space. And so you've got to make sure that you're adopting this mindset that basically says, I'm no longer going to continue to guess on how I'm going to show up. I know how I'm going to show up. In every situation, this is who I'm going to be, and I'm proud of that person. So number 1, you must adopt that mentality. Number 2 is you got to choose to be more positive. You got to choose to be more of a positive force in your life. Listen, understand your responsibility when you're around other people. Your responsibility, my responsibility is to show up with integrity, with confidence, with enthusiasm, with joy, so that they inspire to become more like the thing that I'm trying to be. Because guess what? I create my own reality. I create my own home space. That means I want people to rise up and to be more joyful. So I have to be more joyful. I have to be more happy. I have to be more fun. I have to be more confident. I have to be more enthusiastic. So that they, when they bring their low quality energy into my space, they are either running away or they're rising up to the occasion and meeting me where I'm at. I will always be the person that gives more energy, that they're like, whoa, way too much energy right now. Yeah, level up. Level up. It's time to give more, show up more, love more. Be more happy. Be more of you have energy. It's a beautiful blessing. So understand that you have to choose. Every freaking day I wake up, I choose positivity. I choose happiness because there was a time that I wasn't. There was a time of darkness. There was a time of unease. There was a time of angst. There was a time of depression. There was times of thoughts of suicide that I battled. Listen, I could no longer allow those thoughts to dictate my future. It was because of the music I was being influenced by. It was the movies that I was watching. It was the things that I wasn't doing that I knew was right for me and my family and my future. Listen, I was crafting a person way before I met my wife so that I could be the husband she needed me to be today. And I'm not stopping because just because I found her doesn't mean I'm giving up on her. And I have to continue to show up for her. I have to show up now for my future kids or for my future friends or for my future coworkers or for my future who I want to be. I have to show up for my God because he gave me this life and I promised him that I would do the best that I could to make him feel pleased with the creation that he created me to be. So once again, it's just a reminder to choose some positive, be a positive force in your life because you need to start to bring more of the joy. You need to bring life to others, be more fully alive and fully charged, fully engaged, fully there with them, present, committed, and focused in on that conversation. This is how you can become more of a role model. Once again, adopt the role model mentality, meaning that you understand that you can no longer guess on how you're going to show up. Number 2 is about choosing to be more of a positive force. Number 3 is don't let your concerns control you. Keep perspective is what this means. You got to keep perspective by asking yourself, if I was being a role model, how would I show up to this today? Right? Meaning people are watching you. That's what we talked about. People are always watching you, and you're always influencing them. You're either influencing them for the good or for the bad. Choose good, but once again, don't let your concerns of the day control you. Understand as a role model, you wouldn't freak out. Visualize your best version of yourself and ask, is this how my best self would show up today? If not, choose again. Take a break, relax, cool off, go for a walk, drink some coffee, drink some water, throw some water on your face, reset, and show up again. Choose again. Don't stay stuck in that emotional misery because you always have choices and you can always choose better. I've learned that. I've studied it. I've implemented it. I am it. And I hope that this is inspiring you. I hope this is helping you. I hope that this is going to transform your quality of life in your home, in your relationships, and everything in between. And last but not least, my dear friend, is you've got to take responsibility for your energy. This is such a big place. Be responsible for the energy that you bring to your space. Think about that. What energy do you bring to your space? Are you lazy, lethargic? Are you tired, fatigued? Are you pushing past it? Are you the leader? You know, when I think of this, take responsible for your energy. I'm thinking of Ray Lewis right now. For those of you that don't know Ray Lewis, he was a linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens. The energy, the power, the physiology, the vibrancy that he brought to the huddle, brought to the pregame show is astonishing. It's like a breakthrough, right? It's like, I'm a break through you. The energy that you bring to each day can dictate the quality of day that you're experiencing. So if you are suffering in your home life because everything feels so dull, so boring, so mundane, so black or gray, lost its color, it's because you lost your color. It's because you're not being a role model. You're not leading by example. Shock your family the next time you walk through the door. Do something a little bit differently this time. This is my request of ask. Listen, you've got to make sure that you're showing up as the role model that you know you can be for yourself and for your family. They deserve that. You deserve that. Because if you show up and live in congruency to who you know you can be, and you start being that person, I promise you happiness increases. My dear friends, this is the Honey, I'm Home podcast. I hope that you found this podcast helpful, supportive, encouraging, and uplifting. And if you did, be sure to share it out to 1, 2, or 3 of your friends that need this encouragement today. You can always find me on any podcast app, on YouTube now. And I'm super excited that you're here. So if you could, the last final request to help out this podcast and to give a little bit more love is leave a review on wherever you listen to this podcast at, because that significantly helps me reach more homes. And I believe when we change each heart, we can change homes and we can change the world. Remember, hurt people, but healed people also heal people. This is Honey, I'm Home.